Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of Entrepreneurship Lab. This is your host, Nevena Bajalac, welcoming you once again to the podcast where we help you grow and scale your business. And as always, we bring to you some amazing guests here, experts in different areas. And today with us is Katrena Friel. And Katrena is actually awarded best-selling author. She is TEDx speaker, and she's on the mission to help you and all individuals unlock their full potential. And she is a recognized international business mentor, and she has a transformative approach to leadership and entrepreneurship. So today we're going to talk about topic of 7 streams of income. Katrena, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone and to you too, Katrena. So I like to start every episode with sharing a little bit of your personal journey. How did you went to an entrepreneurship? How did you become a mentor to so many people? Writing your book and all of these things. So tell us a bit more how the things started for you.
I was driving down the road one day and it was only just lightly raining. And all of a sudden, this woman decided to go when I had the green light to go forward. She came cutting across me, and I had this ginormous car accident, and my car went round and round and round, and I couldn't get out of the car, and the car was a write-off. And that was the very, very moment that my life changed forever. And it started my entrepreneurial journey because soon after that, they gave me a payout because of the damages that it had done to my lower back and my upper neck, my neck area. And because of that, they paid me out $20,000, but within 90 days, which is unheard of in the legal system. So that was the beginning of my first business. So after that, I went back to work and things were very different, really different. Like I just didn't feel like the same person. I had shifted in some way. And so I left and started my first little business back in the day. And sort of the rest is history. But I did end up in a job, and when I had had a miscarriage from there, this was the sort of the second awakening where I realized that I could sort of do it myself and that I had everything I needed within me. And so, yeah, I had these sort of two momentous moments where, I just wanted to be in my own business. And sometimes if you don't do it, the universe pushes you into it and makes you go there. And so hopefully everybody who's listening sort of can relate to their momentous moments that have
Yeah.
shifted them into their own startups. And I just realized that, people struggled in business all the time. And so I started a business called Becoming the Expert. And the expert is all about positioning, packaging, pricing yourself correctly in your field of excellence. And so I've been at that for a while, and I've been doing that for over 25 years now. And it's
Yeah.
just marvelous to help people discover their genius zones, create a personal brand business. And even if you're in a different type of business, everyone has a personal brand. So
Yeah.
that's why it doesn't really matter whether you want to have an actual personal brand and become an author, speaker, trainer, coach, or whether you need to be out there educating your market. Either way, we're all just educators. None of us are salespeople. We're all just, either educating really well our market or not. So that's
Yeah.
kind of just a very quick nutshell, my little journey.
I love it. Very quick recap of 25 years, but it's so interesting that some of those moments, like you said, the universe pushes us. And I noticed that I remember in COVID times with me and so many people, and even now in my life last year. changing my life in so many ways. Like the universe, sometimes you're not sure of something, it really pushes you. If you don't do it willingly and you're really strongly meant to do something, especially as entrepreneurs, you will be pushed. And what an incredible story. And I love your, positivity, optimism, and great energy. And obviously, you're bringing that to others as well. So as over the 25 years, you're helping people with their businesses and their personal brands. One of the topics that came when we were scheduling this interview is 7 streams of income. And I love this because I believe in business, and to really reach this financial success and freedom we have to have multiple streams of income. So it's a great topic to talk about today, because reaching that financial independence and freedom and success and money from your business, it's what brings also fulfillment. So if somebody is listening and they're the first stage of just trying to get clients and struggling, what is an advice you would give them for that first stage? And then we're going to move on to creating those multiple streams of income later on. But what is some first maybe advice or tips you will give to people who are in that beginning stage?
Yeah, so I reckon your job is really to get out there and speak. A lot of us rely on the internet and social media in particular to sort of just add our stuff to the noise of it all. And it's very hard to sort of stand out, and people are just scrolling past. And that's why I think a lot of people sort of struggle, is because they're not standing out. And so what I recommend to my clients is you go out to the people where your audience is and you present. And for that one moment in time, you are connecting with your audience and they with you, and also with your message. So they're getting educated about what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know until you tell them. So yeah, a lot of people need to get out there more and not sit behind the computer and not wait for Google to send them people, because you're very reactive. It's sort of very passive. Whereas when you go out into the world and you start to really present and educate, you've got a much, much better chance for that one moment in time to become important to them, and for them to realize what it is that you offer and how you can help them.
Yes.
So yeah, speaking is really the key. I believe that's my big strategy that I like to teach. And before that, I like them to put together their philosophy. So what is it that you would teach? What is it you want to educate about? And so when you do the rigor of putting a book together, what that does is it gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of understanding about what your message is and how it works. And then you can go and put together a keynote speech, or a TED talk, or a sort of a presentation of some sort. Whereas if you don't do the rigor, you tend to be very light on when you present. You're very sort of shallow in your knowledge. Whereas when you do a book, you go very deep and you really understand who you are and what you stand for. And that's the key. Then you can get out there, and I can't hold them back. They want to get out there and speak about it. But prior to that, they wonder, what would I present on? And it's like, well, you haven't done the rigor. You've got to do the rigor of who you are and what you stand for and what
Yeah.
makes you different, really.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's going to help so many people listening if they're in that stage. And I always say, switching that mindset when it comes to growing your business or starting sales, all of those things, speaking, I always say you have a message to share and you have a specific knowledge to share. And I see it as a responsibility and not being selfish. If I don't share it, if I'm not down there prospecting and talking about how I can help people, I feel like I'm being selfish. So I'm doing disservice to people. And this is the mindset shift also with my clients. When we talk in that way, they start realizing, oh yes, this is not about me. This is about other people and how I can contribute with I have to offer. And I think in that way, when we see it, like you said, it's you can easily go out there and share your message and be there for others. So let's talk a little bit more about growing the business and different streams of income. Tell us a bit more about the experience you bring to the clients and people out there and help them set that.
Yeah, so the first stream of income is the author, being the author, getting the book together. The book becomes an ebook, the ebook becomes a book, the book can even become an audio book. And from that particular income stream, if you sold $5,000 worth of books in a year, that would put you in the top 1% of authors in the world. So you can see that there's not a lot of income there. But I tell you where the big value comes in doing the book is in the positioning of you as the expert. And that's why we do the book. That's why we do it, because it shows that we have done something that the average person hasn't done. And it also positions you as the expert, because the book, for some reason, books still have gravitas today. Over and above podcasting, over and above any other thing, if you've got a book, it really positions you as the expert in your field of excellence, because people can see that and access your philosophy very quickly, and within a couple of hours can know who you are and what you stand for. So the book is about an income stream, yes, but I like to use that income stream as actually to be self-perpetuating. The money that comes in from your books, you just buy more books, because you should be out there speaking and selling off those books quite quickly. So that brings us to the second stream of income, which is speaking. Now, within the speaking industry, there's two streams. There's the paid speaking and the promotional talks. And you can earn more money out of promotional talks than what you could do getting money as a speaker. Because getting money as a speaker has many levels. You've got the low level, which is sort of people that are starting out. They might be, $1,000, $2,000. Then you've got the sort of industry speakers, which are $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And then you've got the keynote speakers. These are $15,000 to $25,000 type speakers. So there's a lot of money in the speaking, but you've got to get really good at it. And there's some real art to that. There's some also science to that. But I like to focus my initial clients on the promotional talks, getting a lot of practice, getting up, speaking to groups of people, but speaking to your market will make a difference. If you're not speaking to the right people and you're in front of the wrong people, then you won't have a lot of success. So promotional talks are really key. But again, the book and the keynote are your sales and marketing strategy. So it's not about money at this point, but they are revenue generating. And then we move into the next phase. So number 3 income stream is training. Now, this is where the money is. This is what you're selling them into, your signature program. And so that could be anything from a $2,000 or $3,000 investment right up to a $20,000, $25,000 investment and beyond, depending on who you're looking after and what you've got to offer. So training is where the money really starts to kick in. Prior to that, the book and the speaking is really just that marketing sales piece, giving you your leads. And then you get into the signature program, selling in your training. And that brings us to the final income streams: coaching, mentoring, facilitating, and consulting. I do those quickly because those ones are next step after they've done your signature program. Hey, so we were just talking about training as the third income stream. And then, so that's your signature program. That's where the money is in the first interaction with the client. And then after that, you've got your coaching programs. After that, you've got your mentoring, your facilitating, and your consulting. And that's the 7 streams of income that we're sort of talking about. But the difference between training and facilitating, training is where you've got your your agenda, you've got your marketing material, they've signed up, they know what they're buying, there's an agenda, there's a flow, you know what you're delivering. Whereas facilitating is more for your second year clients. It's more advanced. This is where you would sign them up for a second year and go deeper on the material, because facilitating is drawing the wisdom out of the room. It's a much more advanced skill. And then the difference between coaching and mentoring. Well, coaching is asking questions. That's pure coaching. Anytime you ask a question, you are coaching. And anytime you are mentoring, it's when you are telling them from their point of view what you recommend. So in my case, because people are coming to me to do the Becoming the Expert program, I call myself a business mentor, because they want to know what I know. They want to know, they want me to tell them from my experience what it is that they need to do to set up these 7 streams of income. And then consulting, the final one, is where you go into organizations, into businesses, and you sort of have a look around as the expert to see what you're going to improve. And usually I like to do consulting on 3 levels. The green light is telling them what they're doing really well. The red light is where all the opportunities for growth are, so you outline that for them. And then the amber light is stuff that you could probably do together, things that they could probably fix up themselves with your advice and with your coach, with your help and support. So they're the 7 income streams. The first 2, as I said, is more the sales and marketing piece. So there's not a lot of revenue there, or it can be like that, but the rest is where the money is. That really is what you want to be setting up, and not leaving money on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's so important to understand this. And some people listening, I always have this discussion with some clients who have product businesses, and I say, you are still the face, of your company. There is still so much money in building this personal brand. And also as an expert, well, let's say if you're in the food industry, or you're, I don't know, in accounting industry, interior design industry, doesn't matter. I always told my clients, still, it's so important that we not leave money on the table, like you say, and we grow and we go out there and you speak out there. First of all, it will bring more clients as well, but you are the expert and, like you say, educator in that area that is your expertise. And I think that's so powerful, everything you shared, and a great way for people to start. So thank you for that.
That's all right. Happy to help.
So tell us a little bit more about your book, your best-selling author. What is the book about, so the listeners where they can get it, and yeah, why should they read it?
Well, I've done quite a few books now. My original book was my sales book called Sex Sells, and that's the one that I won the award for. So once you become an award-winning author, you're always going to be an award-winning author. So I like my clients to achieve that if they can, and move away from #1 best-selling author. And they'll get that. That's 100% of my clients all get a #1 best-selling author when they launch. But the most important bit is to get the award winning, because once you have it for life. And so that was my first book. My next book after that was Refresh Your Career. Now, for every book, there is a sub-brand where you can run $1 million model. So my Refresh Your Career book, which is my 7 secrets to success within the corporate environment, I've used that for over 20 years, and it was a really wonderful keynote speech that that you could deliver, that everyone can relate to, that everyone would enjoy. There was lots of laughs, a lot of interactivity, and so that remains one of my most favorite books, Refresh Your Career. Now, I would never sell Refresh Your Career by itself. I always sold it with my other book called Refresh Your Life, and they became the books that you got whenever you saw me speak. You'd kind of get those 2 books as a bit of a pair. And Refresh Your Life was all about refreshing your life. It was all about looking at your goals and your dreams and your wants and your needs. And I love it because goal setting from a number of different points of view and looking at it from a number of different angles, I just take you through all these different tricks and tips and how to look at your goals and to pick a model that works for you. And there's a number of different models in there. And then I went on to write a whole bunch of other books, and there's a few books coming out this year, actually. Two that I'll be launching at a book festival soon in March, and they're more my magical books, my witchcraft kind of business, because I have a brand called Business Witch, and it's just showing how magical business actually is. And I'm bringing out two books to support that brand this year, so that's exciting.
Amazing, congratulations. And we want to invite everyone to go and check Katrena's book and get a lot of her experience and knowledge through it for sure. So, Katrena, as we're wrapping this episode, I like to ask sometimes in building your business, I would not call it maybe necessarily a mistake, but is there something you wish you knew earlier or someone told you earlier that would make your building your business so much easier? Because I think that can always help so many people.
Yeah, gosh, haven't we all made mistakes? Certainly have. I think what I like to offer my clients is a lot of value, a lot of things that they need when they start up. It's all done for you type of model. And the reason I did that is because originally, when I first went out into the coaching field on my own, I invested 30,000 with a guy, and essentially it was a scam. Like, I just got completely ripped off. And that's actually in my TED talk, that story.
Yeah.
So what that taught me was that I had everything I needed inside of myself, and to believe in myself more and to trust my own instincts. Because what I was trying to do is, I thought this guy had what I needed, whereas in fact, this guy had nothing of the skills that I had. And so, why would we, trust in somebody like that? It was just terrible. So now what I've done in revolt of that is I value stack. There's so much in my program that I give away, and that's in response to being ripped off originally when I first started. And I just never wanted anybody to ever feel like that. And so my program is a done for you model and has all the things that you need done inside that. And it's all done for you. And I teach them how to maintain it and so on. So that way they can get on with doing the business rather than spending, sometimes people spend 2 to 5 years just setting up a business. I do it all in 90 days for them. So it's, it's just in response to that terrible start that I had and that big mistake that I made. But it was a really good outcome in the sense that I understood that I've got what I need inside of me and that I can do it. And so I went on to do it. And now I build businesses for others. It's just so ironic, really.
Yes, and I had a similar experience, not being scammed, but also like relying on someone at that moment. They couldn't show up for some personal reasons. Later on, it was it's still my friend and one of best mentors, but it also told me the same. And I always say to my clients, you already have the power, because I think putting our clients back into feeling powerful and they know, and not rely on any of us as a coach or a mentor or consultant, it's the biggest step we can do, because then they start, like you said, trusting their instinct. They understand they have the tool, they have the power. We're just guiding them into building that. So I really love that. I mean, what a story, but a good experience, and great things came out of it. So I want to finish the episode with maybe asking you one last tip to people, for people who are building their business, regardless if it's a service or product business. What is something that maybe we didn't mention and you think it's very important?
I think having a network of people around you that make it fun to do business. I think business, everyone will talk about, is quite isolating. You're on your own. Nobody understands your problems like you do. There's often no one to talk to about it. So what I've done over the years is surrounded myself with people that are not my clients, and that's important. They're not your clients. It's very different. But they're my friends, and friends that you can just be yourself with and relax, who understand where you're coming from. They're in business too. And yeah, it's so important just to have the right people around you. I love that old adage around you're only going to be as good as the five people in your inner circle. So have a look at the five people around you and just have a look at their level of success and what they're up to and what they're thinking about. And you'll find that that'll be your level. And so you want to really make sure you hang with people that are, your level, and that can love you no matter what you're going through and no matter how stressful business can get. And just to have fun, that's the key. I just think it should be fun. We spend a lot of time working. Why aren't we having fun? You gotta have fun.
I love it. Thank you, Katrina, so much for being here today. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Make sure to connect with Katrina, follow her on social media, reach out if you want to know more and work with her. And make sure to download this episode, subscribe. So also share with at least one person, like I always say, that can benefit from this information as well. Thank you for listening and see you in the next episode.
See you soon. Bye.